Welcome to Smart Stock Watch. Today, we're diving into the latest financial results of Semtech Corporation, a leader in high-performance semiconductors, IoT systems, and cloud connectivity services. Stay tuned as we summarize the report, discuss the highlights of the results, and what it all means for investors like you. Curious to know more details on key takeaways and insights? Watch this video to find out. Executive Summary.
Semtech Corporation reported a strong second quarter for fiscal year 2025, with net sales of $215.4 million, a sequential increase of 4%. The company saw improvements in both GAAP and non-GAAP gross margins, operating margins, and adjusted EBITDA margins. Despite a GAAP diluted loss per share of $2.61, the non-GAAP diluted earnings per share stood at 11 cents. The company also provided a favorable outlook for the third quarter, forecasting further growth in net sales and margins.
Financial performance. What was the total revenue for the current quarter, and how does it compare with the previous quarter and the same period last year?
The total revenue for the current quarter was $215.4 million, up from $206.1 million in the previous quarter and down from $238.4 million in the same period last year.
What were the GAAP and non-GAAP earnings per share (EPS), and how do they compare with the previous quarter and the same period last year?
The GAAP diluted loss per share was $2.61 compared to a loss of 36 cents in the previous quarter and a loss of $5.97 in the same period last year. The non-GAAP diluted earnings per share were $0.11, up from 0.06 cents in the previous quarter and down from 0.13 cents in the same period last year.
Operational efficiency. What were the GAAP and non-GAAP gross margins for the current quarter, and how do they compare with previous periods?
The GAAP gross margin for the current quarter was 49.0%, up from 48.3% in the previous quarter and 42.3% in the same period last year. The non-GAAP gross margin was 50.4%, up from 49.8% in the previous quarter and 49.6% in the same period last year.
What were the GAAP and non-GAAP operating expenses for the current quarter, and how do they compare with previous periods?
The GAAP operating expenses for the current quarter were $97.7 million, compared to $96.4 million in the previous quarter and $400.8 million in the same period last year. The non-GAAP operating expenses were $77.9 million, compared to $77.4 million in the previous quarter and $85.7 million in the same period last year.
Cash flow and financial health. What are the key points of the balance sheets?
Key points of the balance sheet include total assets of $1.368 billion, total current assets of $541.7 million, total current liabilities of $224.7 million, long-term debt of $1.192 billion, stockholders' deficit of $141.4 million.
What are the key points of the cash flow statements?
Key points of the cash flow statements include net cash used in operating activities, $5.084 million, net cash used in investing activities, $2.672 million, net cash used in financing activities, $4.55 million, net decrease in cash and cash equivalents, $12.657 million.
What were the key points regarding cash flow from operating, investing, and financing activities?
Key points regarding cash flow activities include operating activities. Net cash used was $5.84 million. Investing activities. Net cash used was $2.672 million. Financing activities. Net cash used was $4.550 million.
Strategic initiatives and partnerships. What were the major strategic initiatives, product launches, and partnerships announced in the current quarter?
The article does not mention any specific strategic initiatives, product launches, or partnerships announced in the current quarter.
Risk and challenges. What are the key risks and challenges highlighted in the report or discussed by the management?
Key risks and challenges include compliance with covenants under debt agreements, remediation of material weaknesses in internal control over financial reporting, economic uncertainty affecting net sales and earnings estimates, integration risks associated with the acquisition of Sierra Wireless, Inc., supply chain constraints and disruptions, export restrictions and tariffs, worldwide economic and political disruptions, competitive changes in the marketplace, decreasing average selling prices of products, reliance on a limited number of suppliers and subcontractors, future responses to public health crises, forecasting non-GAAP normalized tax rate due to potential material changes.
Future outlook. What is the company's revenue and gross margin guidance for the next quarter or fiscal year?
The company's revenue guidance for the next quarter is $233 million plus bar $5 million. The non-GAAP gross margin guidance is 52.0%, 50 basis points.
What are the expected operating expenses and other relevant financial projections for the next period?
The expected operating expenses for the next period are $81 million and plus $1 million. Other relevant financial projections include an operating income of $40.2 million, $8 million, an operating margin of 17.2% plus or 80 basis points, and an adjusted EBITDA of $48.7 million plus $2.8 million.
Overall performance and investment prospects. Based on the financial results and strategic updates, what is the assessment of the company's overall performance?
Based on the financial results and strategic updates, Semtech Corporation has shown solid performance with sequential improvements in key financial metrics such as gross margin, operating margin, and adjusted EBITDA margin. The company is well positioned for future growth as indicated by its favorable outlook for the next quarter. However, challenges such as economic uncertainty, supply chain constraints, and integration risks remain.
That's all for today's analysis of Semtech Corporation's financial performance and growth prospects. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Smart Stock Watch for more in-depth financial insights. Let us know in the comments if you think Semtech is a good buy right now. Boost your trading game with Interactive Brokers, a leading platform known for its advanced tools and low commissions. I've personally benefited from their fast execution and comprehensive market access. Click the referral link in the video description below to sign up and support this channel. Start trading smarter today with IBKR. Thanks for watching and happy investing.